Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I haven't seen you guys in about a week, and the last time I saw you, it was a vlog, and it's been that way for the past like 10 videos or so. So I think it's about time to switch it up, and what time is better than Valentine's Day, or weekend, I guess, because this is Valentine's Day weekend. But today I thought I would talk to you guys about how to flirt in Amharic or Amharic. This video is technically a part 2, okay, ladies and gents? So if you have not seen part 1, definitely check it out, because I'm not gonna cover too many basics in this video. If anything, I will review some basics at the very end. So stick around if you have seen the first video and you just want a little refresher, okay? But today our main focus is gonna be talking about how to, talk to your significant other. Or for you single ladies and gents, I will be teaching you guys how to approach someone in public and flirt with them in a respectful manner, okay? I will also touch on, some of the flirty ways that are ambiguous, like is this respectful, is this not? We'll kind of go over that a little bit in this video as well, so definitely stick around and make sure you guys subscribe before you watch this video, because come on y'all, come on. Y'all are here, you're present, okay? So just keep being present, okay? Just click that subscribe button and be here. Be here with me, okay? Because I love you and I wanna be one, okay? I think we should just jump into the words now, honestly. But I just want to give you guys a quick disclaimer about Amharic. I mentioned this disclaimer in the last video as well, but pretty much Amharic, similar to French, has conjugations for feminine and masculine. So I will kind of guide you guys through that, tell you guys if there even is a masculine or feminine for that specific word, because sometimes there just isn't. But most of the time there is like a conjugation for the feminine side and a conjugation for the masculine side. So I'll keep you guys posted with that, so you're not like, saying the wrong thing to the wrong gender. Although I know gender is a social construct, but hey, we're talking about a different country and different languages, so you just gotta have an open mind, okay? I'm just looking at my notes, so don't mind me just making sure I have everything together, because y'all know sometimes. So this first section is gonna be for cuffed babies. This is gonna be for me and you if you're cuffed, okay? If you have a significant other, or maybe you guys are, maybe not exclusive, but you have a bae, use this appropriately. Like, you don't want to say this to someone who you are not in relations with, because that may be a little intense, like calling someone your world is a little bit intense if you're not dating that person. So this is just for the cuff babies right now. Don't worry though, there is a section for the single ones, so just stick around or skip it over in the chapters down below. All right, cuffed babies, you guys, man. We come up with the craziest pet names, I think, and it is not limited to just people in the United States of America. I think that is just literally everywhere. We have pet names for our lover, and sometimes those pet names can be really weird. So just have an open mind as you're hearing these, because you might not have heard any of these ever before. And just also don't judge me if my translation is like, very long, because some of these words actually don't exist in the English language, so I'm kind of like describing them. So if anyone has like a better translation, come for me in the comment section if you need to, because y'all be loving to do that, so do what you need to do. But all right, for the cuff babies, this is one of the first words we're gonna learn, okay? It is yene fikr. So yene fikr means my love, basically. Super simple. Yene means mine or my, and then fikr means love, obviously. Like I said, don't go out here calling everybody, yene fikr, but although that is probably the one in this section that is the least like intense, so I guess you can call kind of anyone your love, but don't just throw it around, baby, because by calling somebody your love, like that's a little bit of declaration right there. So if you're not really feeling it, don't go out and say, oh, yene fikr. Like, there's other pet names, in the English language that y'all can use, okay? But we don't need to make it as intense. So this is something I feel like if you are dating someone, if you're seeing someone, this is like the perfect like little, you know, this is something to throw in there to kind of show them that you care, you're interested, obviously, and like they're your love. Like that's sweet, you know? Now we're kind of treading into that territory where you say these words to people that you're not in like an immediate relationship with, and it sounds a little intense, you know? You don't want to be going out here just calling anybody that. This is somebody, you know, that you hold near and dear to your heart. This is one of the things you could say, okay? Hiwate, or yene hiwat, which really means my life. And I know that sometimes like in relationships, you know, it feels like that person is your life. Whether they are or not is, you know, very debatable because you have a life aside from a significant other. But in Ethiopia, this is one of the main terms of endearment, I feel like, because it's just like a really general way to say, hey, like, we're so connected, you're literally my life. And it's not as literal as that, obviously, and sometimes it is like as deep as that, you know? So just be mindful, because I know my mom says that to me, and it's like a different kind of love, obviously. So when you're saying like, you're my life, you're saying you're my life. So just keep that in mind. Don't just say that to someone that you're like casually dating or whatever, because I know Valentine's Day, you know, it'd be a little simpy, but don't take it anywhere it doesn't need to go just because it's Valentine's Day, okay? But if you are in an intense relationship and you've been trying to say something that makes your partner understand how much they really mean to you, this is a way to do that without maybe being like, all right, you're literally my life. I plant a seed and you are mine. Like, it's not that deep, but I feel like it's a really good way to show your partner that you really care about them. And it's super common in Ethiopia. And yeah, that's about that on that word. Another term that you can say to your significant other or someone you're seeing, you can say yene mar, which means my honey. Mar is honey, and yene, as we've discussed, is my. So it's just basically another, you know, term of endearment, but I feel like in Amharic it's less just like, honey, are you home? Like, it actually means like, you know, like, ugh, like I would lick you off a spoon if I could. Like, honey is something I feel like we literally love in Ethiopia. I personally don't like honey, but the way it comes off and the roll of the R, like yene mar, it's like, you know, it really means I love you, like honey. You know, but obviously not I love you, because that's not what it translates to. But when you say yene mar, it's like, you're my jar of honey. Like, if there was one lick left in that jar, I'd be licking it, you know? Like, that's, I feel like that's where it stems from more than the American verbiage, which is like, oh honey, I'm home. Like, yeah, so if you're dating someone and you feel like, you know, they're your honey, they're your sweetie pie, then you can go ahead and say yene mar. And that is a very good compliment. The next one, again, for couples, right? So Nebse is kind of similar to like my life, but it's more like my universe, which is like, I feel like that's the best way to describe it, but it also doesn't have like a direct translation. I guess it's like my fiber, like the atom of my being type energy. It's like, yeah, you're basically saying like, you complete me, essentially, but like without saying it that way. It's more like, you are everything. You're the little things, you're the big things. Like, you're the sun, you're the moon, you're the ashes, you're the beach, everything, you know? So it's an intense one. And like I said, some of these you might not want to just throw around when you're at a club and meeting someone, but this is more what you would say to someone you're, you know, committing yourself to, or on your way to committing yourself to. So yeah. This word right here that I'm about to say is kind of similar to Nebse, but it is Hodei. Which, okay, bear with me guys, because this translation is a little bit wonky, but Hodei directly translates to stomach. I know, stomach, right? Why would you call somebody your stomach? I couldn't directly explain that to you because in the English language, like, that verbiage does not make sense. My stomach? Sir, are you hungry? Are you trying to eat me? Like, what? No. But in Ethiopia, saying Hodei actually means like, it's a compliment. It's like one of the highest types of compliments you could get. This is a term I feel like you can say with, at the very least, your family, like your mom, your dad might be saying that to you, or you can say it to your significant other, because it really holds the same type of meaning as like Nebse or Hiwate, which both kind of mean like my life and my universe, right? So this just means like my stomach. Like, it directly translates to that, but it really like means like another part of you that you physically can't live without. You know what I mean? So, hey man, like I said, a lot of these words, they don't have direct translations. It's more just like a vibe, a meaning, and then sometimes it can change based on like literally the scenario it's being used. So just keep all that in mind when you're using these words. Okay, so I feel like that covered the, I guess, couples slash people who are kind of more into committed relationship. But now we're gonna move on to the single ones, okay? The singletons out here. Yes, you, I'm talking to you, ma'am and sir, because, you know, both of you are probably single, so you guys can get together. Or not, you know, I'm not here to judge. Whatever your preference is, you do you. Really quickly before we go into the exact verbiage and usage of all these terms, right? I just really quickly wanted to point out that, you know, be respectful, be mindful. Flirting has to have consent, so just keep that in mind. If someone is giving you body language that is a no, like fingers or arms crossed or legs crossed or, you know, physically not looking at you, turned any other way, those can be like your signs to kind of back off. But I just wanted to tell you guys that real quick before I went on to this section, because flirting can come off a little bit, you know, it can rub you the wrong way sometimes. It can seem like someone's expecting something of you when in reality you don't owe anyone ish, okay? It's just about being respectful. Just keep in mind everything I'm about to tell you is gonna play differently in every scenario. So just keep that in mind when you're about to use these terms, okay? So we're gonna set up a little bit of a scenario. So one example could be like, you know, you're at a coffee shop or at a library or I don't know, anywhere public, right? And somebody approaches you, or you see somebody that you would like to approach, right? This is how you would go about that approach. So you'd say something along the lines of "Salam nash konjo." So that's like, oh, are you good, beautiful? Really on the nose there, but that is, I guess, one way to kind of just start a conversation off, see if anyone's even feeling you, you know, just from that. Because sometimes flirting is not really about what you're saying, it's about how you're saying it, you know, most of the time. Like you can literally just flirt with looking at someone, you know, just physical, or not physical, but like, you know, what is it called? Gestures. Yeah, you can kind of flirt with someone through gestures. So if that's enough, baby, you know what I'm saying? It's all about the tone. It's all about the delivery. So if you are feeling like you want to flirt with someone in Amharic, the best way to go about it is be respectful, but also say these words a little bit more flirty so they know that you're flirting and it's not like you're trying to force anything on anyone. You know what I'm saying? Now we're kind of reaching territory where things are masculine and feminine, right? So we kind of have to just adjust. So in this case, "Salam nash konjo" would just translate to "Salam na?" Like, but I don't really know a term of endearment for guys. Like, you could say "Salam nante," but that kind of sounds like it's someone you know versus someone you're trying to flirt with. So I guess if anybody knows a term of endearment for men in Amharic, drop that down below and just say something like "Salam na," and then add that term of endearment that hopefully someone will comment down below, because usually these videos get comments. So you will be up in the comment section if you need it. So okay, the next one is Semeshma, no? Which literally translates to "what's your name?" And like I said, this is common Amharic, but we're changing it up. We're adding a little flirtatious vibe to it. That's the whole point. So, you know, like I've been saying the whole time in this segment of the video, is flirting is not about the content of the sentence. It's about the delivery. It's about the vibe. It's about the gestures. It's about all of that. So just kind of keep that in mind, I guess. But for the other way, you would say "Semeshma, no?" Which, like I said, it's pretty similar. It's just a different conjugation for men and women. Okie dokie. So the next one is something you would say to someone that maybe is being a little coy with you. Maybe they're like, you know, you're asking them their name and they're kind of just being like, ugh, whatever, I'm not now. Like, you know, because sometimes ladies do like to play hard to get. I'm not gonna sit here in front, but sometimes ladies just, they're not interested, you know? You gotta sense the vibe off that. And I know people can sense the vibe, but sometimes it just gets miscommunicated. Like the hard to play can get, you know, miscommunicated for, oh, she just is not interested, and then vice versa. So just keep that in mind. We're all smart, we all have brains. We can cognitively think and assess, is this a scenario that I should flirt in? And kind of go from there, right? But this is how you'd get someone's attention who's being coy, who you know is kind of just like, they're just shrugging you off right now, but if you just kept, you know, not pushing, but more so you were being consistent, then you would say something like, Ara kunjana. So that would mean something like, wow, you're a beauty, you know? And that's another way to get, like, you know, that person. This is mainly directed to females, so you'd say, Ara kunjana. And then, you know, the girl would probably be like, ah ha ha ha, ah. Okay, and this is what I'll tell you. In a scenario when you say that, and if a girl's kind of like, okay, that's your sign to cut it. That's it. It's a dead, okay? I'll tell you that right now. And it's more like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, you're beautiful. Like, that's a compliment. So it's not just, oh, you're beautiful. And if someone has turned down that, you know, excessive praise, I would say it's a dead, you know? And I mean, like I said, we all have cognitive brains. We can kind of assess, but, you know, if we can't, this is just a friendly note to self, you know, that is probably a dead. We're kind of inching towards the end, you guys, but let's talk about these last couple ones I got. The next term I have written down is kind of one that I'm like hesitant to say because I don't want people to misinterpret this, but this is something that happens a lot in Ethiopia because men do not understand consent. You want me to be honest, like just in general, right? That's just like a fact that we all know. So, you know, guys will push, guys will push, guys will push. So here, you know, guys will be like, hey man, girl, relax. Ain't nobody trying to come for you. Or, hey girl, take it easy. It's not that deep, you know, like relax. Like, you know, when you're flirting with someone and they're not giving you a response, you overcompensate by saying like, hey, relax girl. It wasn't even like that. Just get over it. So this is how some Ethiopian men would go about saying that. They'd be like, Arafatabe, minimum. It's not like that, you know, like type energy. And that's the one. It's not like that. I'm like, it is like that. I know what you're doing. But so that is something that if you hear Arafatabe, that's a guy trying to let you know, man, like I'm not trying to like come at you the wrong way, but the intention's clear at that point. I feel like, you know, they're just trying to say, hey, loosen up. We're not trying to come for you. We're just maybe flirting for fun, harmless flirting, or just wanted to tell you that you're beautiful, you know, because that happens sometimes. But I feel like only recently have I encountered interactions with men on the street that will just say things like, oh, you're beautiful, and just in a passing comment, you know, I'll just take it and say thanks and move on. Because usually when you accept compliments, people think they're entitled to more. And I'm like, no. So after, you know, having a little flirty fun, maybe at a club, at a public place, whatever, right? Someone could, after, you know, getting your name, getting your information, telling you you're gorgeous, all this, and after you accepting some of those compliments, or maybe even saying, pushing back, the last thing I feel like you will hear from someone who's trying to flirt with you, or the last thing you should say, do not take it any further than this, please, for the love of God, like, please, please. You would say, or you would hear, legabzish. That basically means, let me take you out. Firfir legabzish, mango juice legabzish, you know, whatever, right? Sometimes they can be real specific with it, like, let me take you out for mango juice, or let me just take you out. So just make sure that after this, I feel like if you have flirted with someone for a good amount of time and you were getting pushback and they said no after you said legabzish, baby, if it wasn't a dead before, it's for sure a dead now. I guess this is just Flirt 102 plus tips on how to be consentful or mindful, I guess. But, you know, just we want to make sure that note to self for everybody here. Now that we are at the very, very end of this video, I thought I would just refresh your memory with some of the basics, right? The basics you guys know and love. And if you guys are not repeating these with me, at my first go, baby, you gotta watch the whole series, okay? That's just on period. So this is Owaddishallo, which means I love you in terms of like feminine, I guess. That's how you'd say it to a female. And then you'd say Owaddihallo, and that's what you'd say to a male, which means I love you. Same thing, just different conjugation again. So that we've learned in past videos, so make sure you guys check that out if you did not remember. And Afkareshallo, We talked about that in the last video as well, which means I'm in love with you, baby. Like, I have this love for you that it's just cosmic in a sense. So that is something to keep in mind as well. And then afkarehalo is the same thing, just vice versa. So yeah, we've reached the end. I know I only covered a few basics, but that's because, you know, I'm about to shameless plug you to the previous videos, because if you guys did not hear any of those words before, or you could not repeat them, make sure you guys check out all the old videos, all the old episodes of Learn Amharic with Lekem, because you guys, I got the sauce, okay? And honestly, the comment sections are quite funny in all the videos, so at the very least, go read for fun. But alright guys, I love you guys, which is I love you all, regardless of your gender, and I will see you guys next time.